Okay, so this is Discord, which is kind of started out, I think, as video games and stuff, but this Mid-Journey runs through this, so it's like you access the. And it's quite nice because you can see what you're doing and whatever. Okay, so this is the deal. This is how I go about, and nobody does it this way because I have all these questions about what do you do when you do this, and nobody is. They're just fucking plugging in things that like will give them something that they can make money on. Nobody has any interest of like kind of going, yeah, it's a pretty powerful thing. It's like maybe you ought to run it through its courses, find out what it can do, find out what it can't do. It's like there's oodles and oodles of time to like. So this is an image that I got, okay, based on two images that I gave it. And mind you, this is just a library, okay, of images that I have been collecting for about 20 years. And, a lot of them are like iconic. Some of them are, like this, that, like that. And it's like, are just some of them are ones that I like. And it's like, I'll go through these knowing that, like, how the AI thinks and, placing, like, say, that picture of Dinah, placing that along with something that looks almost like that. Like this one here, it didn't quite work, but this is somebody pretending to be like the Botticelli Venus. And it's like I put that together with the actual one, but it didn't turn out that well. But it's like, I have like a series of things like that I thought, Santa things that I could put it together and it would work, or, but it's like all these images, like half of them I put in here because I subconsciously like them. So it's nice to have them all together. Like these two here are obviously like something that you would want to put together because they kind of have the same thing. So it's like you're kind of like going, it's like the thing where the guy holds up the Rorschach test. Like this is me giving the AI a Rorschach test. So art has nothing to do with that. This is me wanting to know how this fucking thing works, and then figuring out like different ways to like fuck with it, to get what I want, it's like, but based on the fact that to get what I want, based on the fact that I know the machine, I know the machine, and I trust what it's going to do, and I know how to feed it the stuff that I want in order to get what I want from it. And it has nothing to do with the prompt that I get off of somebody's website that potentially will make me a lot of money or anything like that. It's just me kind of going, I know this fucking machine. That's a bigger deal than the shit I make. If I made it, okay, let's just say hypothetically, if I became a fucking like modern day fucking Michelangelo doing this shit, like fuck, this guy's doing groundbreaking shit. I would not. I don't think. Well, maybe I would take the money, but only in a spiteful fucking anti-capitalist manner, and then I go do good with it somewhere else. But to me, what I'm producing only satisfies my desire to reaffirm the fact that I learned something. Like, see what I did there? It took me a fucking week to figure out how to get that image. Without prompts, without, just by feeding it the right. And the thing is if you feed it two images, then you can kind of like go, yeah, let's do that one more time, but could you put more emphasis on this image and not that image? Or if you do a thing to where if you reference something that's in the image, like if there's a chicken, you can say, make the chicken blue. So it's like, it's working with you to like kind of do whatever, as opposed to you, you know. And I mean, again, it's like, I don't know if I told you that, but it's like the thing that blows my mind is that it's like if you do prompt it, like, you know, it will inevitably turn your subject into a woman, a cat, or a fucking child. Because that is what everybody wants. You know, it's like you make an AI thing like that in a capitalist fucking environment. Of course, that's, you know, fashion brings the most money. You know, it's fucked up. But anyway, so these are these images that I get over here. I put them there. So this image here, if you look at it, if I click on this, it'll show me this image. Okay, so that's an image that I had in my bank. Okay, and you can see here, you can see how it picked up on all that shit. It's put that in there. Okay, and then the other image is this woman in a, you know, now just right off the bat to look at this visually. Okay, you got the horizontal lines, you got the, you know, the girl and whatever is kind of nonsense, but it's like, but what I was hoping, and it kind of didn't do it, and I kind of gave up, is for it to take the pattern of what this background is based on the first image, and then kind of just put these parallel elements. It's like a simple fucking no-brainer, but it doesn't think that way. So it's like it's a fail. But then it's like by not doing that, then you look at what it's doing and you try to address what it's doing and so on and so forth. And then you get these buttons down here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 if you want to blow it up. If like, I love this image. Like, see, this one was the best of these. And that's U2. So I clicked on U2 and then it made that. Which isn't a bad image, but it's just, you know, I don't know. But the bottom ones is like, you go, right, I like 4, make 4 variants of 4. So the V is, so I did that, and this is what it did. Okay, so it made 4 variants, and then, you know, and it's like, if you know what it's doing, then you go, okay, it's not really thinking outside the box. It's going to just continue doing this shit. Changing backgrounds, changing random things. And what it does, too, is it will change random things. And if you don't pick, like, say this one with the trucks up here. If you don't pick this one, it'll go, okay. And if you get on this loop where you're constantly, like, refeeding this. And what I mean by refeeding is that it's like, so if I do this one and I like this one, if I push V4, it's going to make a whole new grid of 4 of that one. So you're kind of like, you're going into a finite. And a lot of times you can get something out of that. But a lot of times, it doesn't know what else to do. It just kind of keeps fucking throwing this shit out. You know, it'll put Doric columns on it instead of these columns. You know, or it's like it could be iconoclast. You know, you can see what it's doing. You can see that it's kind of going, fuck, I need columns. What kind of different columns? Like, these are fluted here. See? And these are like, I mean, that's AI thinking that it's thinking, but it's really not, you know. But it also does a thing like, okay, so there's this truck up here. If I don't like that truck and I pick this one, and I keep doing this and doing reiteration, and they just keep doing the same thing, it'll reintroduce this truck, maybe on the second floor or something. Like it's kind of saying, are you sure you don't want this truck? You know? So you kind of go, no, I don't want that truck. But anyway, so this is so this started out, I did this one. There's nothing picked here. So the other thing that's important with this is you need to know what the fuck you're doing. Like, you need to follow, because it's like every time you think about it, every time if I like all 4 of these and I click all 4 of these, then I've just made 16 images, more images that I have to fucking go through. And it's like 16 more rabbit holes, 32, 64, 128, you know, 1024, so on and so forth, et cetera, then, you know, you're fucking lost. So you got to be, it's, if anything, it's also like, I think the reason I like it is it's kind of a way to curb the rabbit hole. Because, you know, because this is a big fucking rabbit hole. And if you can walk away from this rabbit hole, then you're a better man, because you can kind of go, yeah, I see where that's going. I'm not, I'm not you. No matter how much smoke you blow up my ass, AI, it's like I'm not going to fall. I'm not going to fall neck deep into like what you're doing. So anyway, so that one. Let's see. I did 4. I did this one. I did a variation of that, which ended up being this one. So that one is a variation of this one. This one, I don't know what it is. I think maybe I reintroduced. I just kept remimicking it. And then this one, like here, see, it's now, this one is predominantly what's in the first picture with very little on the second one. And the reason is, if you look here, this is my prompt. If I click on that, that's the first image. That's the second image. And this is also mumbo jumbo. But these :3 and :1, it's like 1 to 5. So you could do multiple images. So you could kind of say, all right, don't put so much interest in the second image, which I think is the good lady in the orange. Put a lot of interest in this first image. So you end up getting that. So I did that, and I'm like, I don't know if I like that, So then this one, I did it. I flipped it. So this one here is 3 and 1. I flipped this one to 1, 3. So then I got a completely different thing, which again, don't look at it aesthetically. Look at it like, oh, okay, I see what it's doing. It still has 1%, or like, 1 whatever, it's fifth. So it's like what? It's 25%. That's 25% of the first picture and 75% of the first, and that's vice versa. So it kind of gives you some like, okay, that's as far as I can go, right or left, And then this one, out of curiosity, is I just did 1 and 2. It's like, is there a difference? There's a gradation of like proportional gradation between one and the other, and it's like, no, that's not really. It's pretty much the same fucking thing. So. And I did it the opposite that way. And wait, this one's 1, 2. So I did 2, 1. And it kind of didn't do much. It was kind of a dead end. 3, 1. These are all dead ends. I'm going dead ends. So then what I did is I took all of these. That's what I did. I made these images here, the ones I didn't know about. I made them all. So I made all these images, right? And then I took them and I made an image of the 4 images. So I'm duplicating the images of the duplicated images, which is like, give me this, which is kind of fucking interesting, just from the perspective of like, and then like, it's like, okay, so how mad would it be to just keep doing this? Like, keep making renditions of renditions of renditions of renditions. Like to do a room, like imagine in the Guggenheim, or like the MoMA. Guggenheim's, you need more space. But a Guggenheim where you had these to where, say, each of these squares is printed the size of like like your basic bog standard tile in your bathroom. But you fill a complete wall with it within the perspective of what you can see, so like 6 feet tall or something like that. Of just all the fucking possibilities and acclamations, like just the grid of just absurdity of what this thing's doing, that to me is more the art. Nothing to do with what it's producing or how it's being used in a capitalist sense. What's bothering you is that it's like it's a capitalist tool, or it's a propaganda tool that, like, or it's just it's just something that's making soulless shit. And it's not because it's soulless, it's because the people that are capitalism, this is a way to make money. People are seeing it for money. Money is soulless. Therefore, this is perceived as soulless. But if you look at it from the perspective of like, what can this do? Because what it's doing for me is it's able to kind of, it's kind of like when you don't get to walk that much and you buy a treadmill. So you can sit inside and just ride and walk, and pretend that you're walking. Like, say, I'm an artist that needs to walk in order to, like, get my best ideas. Or actually, cycling, like I've mentioned to you. So, in theory, in the winter, when it rains, I should buy, like, a little stationary bike. Or better yet, get one of those ones with rollers where I have to, like, kind of think, and I think the rhythm and all that stuff. But, just to have that so that I can figure out an idea that I have, I find it very refreshing to do that. So, to me, fucking with this AI, that's all it is. It's, I'm developing an ability to see options in something that I would agree, from what I've seen on the internet, YouTube, it's Satan. But it's like the stuff that I'm doing, and you know what? Honestly, I have stuff that I do that it's like I'll look at it, and if it looks anything like something that I've seen, then I immediately chuck it away. Like, this is all stuff that I've just that I've kept because this picture is a grid of, it was taken from a grid of, somebody had taken, like, one of those front-on things of containers that are all different colors, but it was just a square, the containers, and it's like, it was like a photograph. So it was like all these beautiful containers, and if you see it, you can look at it. But it's also with, like, a council flat, both of these. So I was kind of like, fucking with that and trying to figure out, but these, it's like I've kind of thrown a lot of those away. I don't know. Yeah, these are, see, like, this is stuff that, like this one down here, it's like, you just kind of, I liked them, but then you realize what it's doing. Like, all of these they're very stylized, they're kind of giving you what they think you want to have. So initially, when I was doing that, they all would look like that. And yeah, that's fucking soulless. I agree. But, but then it's like I started kind of I think it's like I figured out what it was doing with this. And it's like, okay, yeah, this is great. It's fucking beautiful. Look at it. But it's a fucking wall of eyeballs. So what do I need that for? How is that going to... I don't remember why or how I reached that point. All this was just figuring out the program. But then, like for instance, this thing I really like, because it's like my brother and I were talking about making a cool vehicle. I said, you know what we need, man? We need, like, it'd be great if we could somehow combine a tractor with, like, one of those auto unions from the 30s, I said, that would be fucking cool. I wonder what that'd look like. Bang! That's exactly what it would look like. It's exactly what I had a picture in my mind. It's like, thank you, AI. It's not art. It just answers a question for me, very simply. And it's like, I appreciate it, and I loved it for that, And it's like, yeah, it's just, it's just the rest. I mean, like, stuff like this, it did this, it's like, and I kind of liked it, but it's like, what the fuck am I going to use that for? I mean, if I need to make money and somebody goes, oh, you do AI stuff? Can you do something like this? I go, yeah, I could do that for you. But it's going to cost you a lot of fucking money, But it's like, that's not what, like, this, honestly, okay, now this, let me show you this. This is fucking cool, okay? What I did is I took a picture of my hand, okay? And that is fucking my hand. That is my hand. Okay, but if you look at the length of my fingers, it is not my hand, but it is my fucking hand, So I like that about this. The other thing that is really fucking brilliant about this is I took a series of drawings that I had done, and those look like my drawings, but they are not my drawings. That, to me, is fucking cool. Not to sell or anything like that, but it's kind of like, it's like the AI is giving you a Rorschach test of your drawings. Do you know what I mean? It's really fucking cool. It's just really, it's a bit like fucking masturbation, I know. I mean, it's like, yeah, what if my two drawings got together and had sex and made babies, you know? Like what the fuck, man? But I mean, nevertheless, it's just, you know, it keeps me sitting in this chair for longer than I probably should be, which is probably a good thing, maybe a bad thing, I don't know. You know? And it's like, but nevertheless, yeah, I find it all really interesting. Like this, oh fuck, I wish I knew. But it was a picture, it's like a really beautiful picture of like an illustration of the queen, the let 'em eat cake woman that they chopped her head off. And really kind of, and it looks, the essence of it is just that. But I don't know what I don't know what I gave it. And it was like I gave it an image from my library, you know, which I need to start keeping like references of these things. Like this, absolute shit. I mean, basically, I think I said, you know, I sent a picture of me and with the cat, and then said in the style of Tim Burton. You know? That's great. Okay, all right. What else are we gonna do? You know? But it's like, and the other thing it does really good is if you need to do 3D stuff, and I need to make a tile, a pattern, like a texture that I could put on something. I said, could you make a tile in the style, or it did like dots or something, but in the style of Matisse. It's not a Matisse, but it is a Matisse. You know, if I need to put it on like wallpaper in a kitchen that I'm like trying to do a render for somebody that's like, oh my God, look at that fucking beautiful wallpaper. Not art, but very practical uses. Very practical. And, and then this. So my brother, because I'm telling him, yeah, man, I'm doing this AI shit. It's fucking crazy. I said, ask me anything. Ask me if I can make something for you. So I'm like, he goes, yeah, make a moonlander in the style of that Fiat. It's like a what is that? It's a Fiat maybe that they did like a bungalow version that had like cane seats in it and stuff. I don't know. It kind of looks like this. But it's like, I started doing this and it was like, it blew my mind that it knew what the fucking car was just by the prompt. And then just the style of like how, you know, it's just fucking mad. It makes me fucking laugh. I mean, it really does. It's just kind of like, you know, and for instance, if you look up this guy, French graphic novel artist, Mobius. He did a lot of like stuff in the 70s for Marvel, which is really cool, but he did really fucking cool stuff. And it looks just like this because they've wired the AI. So it's like if you say, yeah, can you do this in the style of Mobius? And it will do fucking Mobius, you know? And like there's like a whole bunch of them. I mean, I kind of got turned off on it. I was doing it too much and I'm like, yeah, you got to step away from the Mobius shit. But like that, like it just fucking, and they're really beautiful. Like it's like if they did, you know, I'm sorry, they nailed them really good. And that's not saying that he's, you know, but he's so true to his style, I think, that and he was so prolific that they were able to like digitize his style, I think, quite effectively. And it's just beautiful. I mean, it really, you know. But anyway, let's go back to, Yeah, but that's about it. But like, this stuff, this is all stuff I needed to do to realize that I don't need to do that anymore. It's like, but it's still, I think it was doing all that and then running into shit like this and kind of going, okay, what the fuck is going on there? And how did I get that picture? And I actually know, if you hold on to that visual image, okay, I will show you exactly what that is. It's, to give you an idea, it's this picture of this woman holding this fish. And then, oh look, that's that picture that I was telling you about. And they're not, yeah, they're containers. So that was that picture I used. But back to that other picture with the fish and the and the amazing thing is I've been collecting these photos for years, and it is overwhelming how effective they all are for the most part. Like this one's really nice to use, but how effective they are in making just making random, like this, like the texture, like anything that kind of has a texture on it, they're quite good, or like patterns, like anything that's like, but I was collecting like I love these overhead, like aerial shots, but they're all quite effective, in this whole thing, like streets and grids and patterns and like, like, okay, that Elvis Costello one, I took a picture of Elvis that I sent you that I did on Instagram. It's that picture. And it was cool because it did the same fucking picture. It took the horn out of his hand, made him Elvis Costello, and then put a camera there instead. It was like, I mean, if I was really rich and I had somebody that could do all that in Photoshop, I would be doing the same thing. I'd be going, man, can you take these two pictures and mash them up? Because I can't be bothered. It's just like, I can't find that picture. I tried to do this one with Elvis and it didn't work. It should have worked. It should have fucking worked. Because it's the same fucking picture. But it just didn't work. But, I can't find that picture. But anyway, these are, this is the library of like, okay, so like, taking this picture, which is, and I have even more of them. What this is I think it's the running of the bull. But the other image I have you ever seen those things in India or Spain or something, where they do the big tower of people, where they're all on each other's shoulders, and they basically they make a fucking structure that's like 5 or 6 stories high. And there's somebody went and took really lovely photos of it from downwards to where it looks like a fucking radial. And I found those images somewhere, and they're in here somewhere. I don't know, but it. The other thing too is that, like, what I'm doing is I'm sitting down with the AI, and because I'm living in solitude, and I'm kind of going, hey, what if you take these two pictures? See, like, this is Mobius. I mean, it's fucking really fucking beautiful, but easily interpreted by AI, which I'm fine with. That's okay, But it's just like, for instance, it's like if I took this image and then another, like an image with the handlebars, like say someone driving a car, same perspective. I'd be curious how it would, because it could see things a whole different way. It would probably be looking at it like in black and white keys, and if there were black and white things on the dash, it would probably just focus on that. It would focus on the hands. It wouldn't. But there's a good chance that it might combine the two of them, like make a fucking steering wheel of like keys or something, which would be really fucking interesting, not for it being just this beautiful visual image, but for it kind of being a representation of how the machine thinks, when it's good or when it's bad. It's bad, but it's not bad all the time. I just think that it's, yeah. I've always loved these images. See, this is the other thing, okay? I just want to say, I've always loved these images, and I will sit down and look at these things, on occasion, because I have nothing better to do. And I'm like this one here, like that I haven't used. I'm going to use that tonight. I don't know what the fuck it is, but man, it's like to put that somewhere where it's going to have to read. Like, what are you going to do with that? How are you going to fucking work yourself out of that box, It's just like really, or like, what's really nice is that if you do things like this, if you send it images that seem to be some kind of like structure as it being like like an Excel sheet kind of thing, it usually tends to see things that way. So if you put it in there, it'll modulate. So like, it would be curious to me to modulate this with anything on a grid, any of those grid, or like to take those images after I've made one of those massive grids like this, and then introduce that picture to that. What does it do? I mean, it's fucking endless. And whatever I'm doing may be shit. But it's like, man, I'm using my brain, and it excites me. And that, honestly, is the only reason I am doing it. And with that, I need to stop, because I had a migraine, and it's usually because I don't drink enough water. So I've been drinking a ton of fucking water, and now I have to take a piss. So I will talk to you later.